Today we got a pretty crazy story time about one of the worst babysitters ever, so leave a like in the video right now to claim your free nothing. We're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Gavin. So anyways, this happened when Gavin was 15. He was a little embarrassed that he had a babysitter at this point, but Gavin was definitely up to no good. Gavin's a lot older now, this happened a while ago, and he definitely advises all of you to make better choices than he did. So anyways, one night when his mom couldn't be in the house, he had a babysitter over. And, he was kind of sitting in his room, and that's when he gets a call from his friend. We're going to call his friend Ben. Ben definitely also wasn't a great influence on Gavin. They were definitely not great influences on each other. Anyways, though, Ben was riding his bike down the street. He's like, yo, dude, I'm riding my bike, pretty near your neighborhood. Can I just, pop over? I got some stuff to show you. And Gavin's like, look, man, I got a babysitter, right now. It's kind of embarrassing, but I got to go ask her first. And Ben's like, all right, well, call me back once you know, if it's okay or not. And if she says no, then I'll just break in through the window. And she says, yes, I'll come through the front door. So basically, Ben was saying, I'm going to come either way, but just let me know which way I should come, front door, back door. That sounds really wrong. Anyways, so Gavin goes down to the babysitter's hey, do you mind if I have a friend over? The babysitter's like, sure, that's fine. Essentially, the babysitter was not told, no friends, no nothing. It's not like Gavin was in a position of being in trouble for something. He was just perpetually always on thin ice. So his mom just was like, all right, I'm not leaving this kid in the house alone. I'm getting some babysitter or something. But there wasn't Gavin was restricted from seeing anyone or something. So the babysitter's like, yeah, sure, dude, whatever. Just, have him come in here so I can say hello and then you guys can go up and do whatever. But do know that I will routinely come in, kind of walk around, and I might check in once in a while. I'm not going to be annoying. I'm not going to come in every 5 seconds. I got some homework to do anyways, but I might come up and see what's up a few times just because that's what your mom wants. And, at that point, Gavin's like, all right, yeah, no, it's totally cool. Takes out his phone, calls Ben. He's like, yo, dude, you can come through the front door. Ben comes in, says hello to the babysitter. Then Gavin and Ben go upstairs. So Gavin's he has an idea of what this secret thing Ben has or whatever. But anyways, he's still kind of interested. So Ben and Gavin walk into Gavin's room. Ben sits down, and that's when, before Ben can open up his backpack, which he has, they hear a call, someone calling from downstairs. The babysitter yells up hey, Gavin, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to be back in 30 minutes. Stay in the house. Don't leave. Don't do anything that'll get yourself in trouble, and I'm going to be back very soon. So Gavin and Ben just look at each other with this look of, oh, so you're saying we have the house to ourselves for half an hour. That is what you're saying right now. So anyways, the babysitter leaves, gets up, goes in the car, and they hear the car drive off, and after a couple seconds of making sure that the babysitter is really gone, Ben immediately goes into his backpack. He's like, dude, I got the new, okay, I got to have a little disclaimer here. So Ben brings, since this was a couple years ago, there's this popular vaping device called a Juul. Very cringe. It's very cringe if you vape. Don't do it. You look dumb. You look stupid. All my college friends will make fun of you. So up to you, buddy. But anyways, though, this was ooh, the cool, high schooler thing. Ooh. Just had to give that disclaimer that's stupid not to do it. Anyways, though, so they both had their little Juul vape things, whatever, but they are completely out of what you call a pod, which is the thing that it runs on. And anyways, so at this point, it was around the time that there was a ban on the flavor ones. However, Ben had found, the flavor vapes or whatever, this is so crazy. So anyways, they're doing that or whatever, and they think they're so cool. But that's when Ben, who is definitely more of I don't want to say bad boy, because that gives a cool aesthetic or whatever. Definitely more of a screw up. That's a little harsh, but more of a screw up than Gavin. In Gavin's own words, which, by the way, if you want to submit your own story, go to Instagram, look up connorpugs, follow me, and then message me your story. Don't message me, hey, do you want a story? Just message me the story, because I'm not going to respond to any messages. I just read them. Anyways, so he goes in, Ben's in his backpack, and he pulls out something a little bit stronger. I'm not, for the sake of keeping this video monetized, I'm going to call it grass, the stuff outside, but it's not. Because if you light the grass outside on fire, you will not feel any different. Well, maybe smoke inhalation or something, I don't know. But if you light this grass on fire and you inhale this smoke, you will feel special. That's all I'm going to say. So anyways, Gavin has never, ever had anything like this. And by the way, another disclaimer, stay away from this stuff until you're an actual adult, and then it's up to you. You're only going to get in trouble. You're only going to screw up. It's only going to make your life really just bad. So just don't do it when you're a kid. And then when you're an adult, you can do whatever you want, and you can screw up your life then. It's up to you. Anyways, though, so Gavin had never done this before. And if you don't know, with stuff like this, with this magical grass, right, your first time, you kind of build up like a tolerance, meaning like you can have more and have less of a symptom. But the very first time, it's you're going to feel a lot of symptoms without doing that much. So Ben looks at Gavin and is like, bro, this is a perfect opportunity. And apparently, this is Ben's first time too, so it's about to be a bad combination. Ben looks at Gavin and is like, bro, this is a perfect opportunity. We got like 20 minutes left. Little did they know like how much it smells, how your effects last more than 10 minutes. This isn't a freaking Jewel times 2. This is a whole new territory, buddy. It's all I'm trying to say. Yeah, so, Gavin and Ben are kind of nervously looking at each other like, all right, sure, let's do it. So anyways, the way that this is done, so I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go into the details because there's a few different methods, but they found like the easiest one. Anyways, so yeah, they had a regular sized amount of this magical grass, but since it was both their first times, it was quite the experience. Not always in a great way. Warning, like once again, if you're a kid or a teenager or non-adult, don't do this. And even if you do decide to do it as an adult or you don't listen to me, you can have some really negative side effects. You can freak out. You can trip. It can be really bad. Anyways, though, they totally forgot about the fact, or they just didn't even know the fact, that it really smells, aka it reeks. You can you can smell, man. Like you can smell this so clearly. Like, no, I'm not going to tell any personal story. You know what? I've been in situations where you walk down the street or you walk next to a college dorm and you're just like, oh my God, someone in there must be doing this right now. That's how bad it is. That's how intense it is. I mean, I don't think it smells terrible, but you can really smell it. So anyways, they start to realize this once they're done. And Gavin looks at Ben and he's just like, dude, why does it smell in here? And Ben looks at Gavin. It's like, oh, no. Oh, no. And then Gavin looks at Ben. He's like, oh, no. Babysitter's coming back in like 5 minutes. The whole, the room reeks. It's terrible. But as they open up the door, the smell starts to permeate down the hallway. So they're frantically, and by the way, they're feeling the symptoms of the magical grass that they smoke, right? So they're not coordinated. They're not thinking super logically. They're not super sharp. So they're going in the kitchen cabinet trying to find some like Febreze type thing. They find it's not going good. They don't find the Febreze. They start like spraying like soap and shampoo on the walls for some reason because apparently that's in their minds at that moment. It is the most obvious answer to make it smell better. But the only thing it does is leave shampoo on the walls, and it still reeks. So it's a terrible combination. And that's when they hear the sound of the babysitter's car pulling into the driveway. And Gavin and Ben just look at each other. Real quick, if you made it as far into the video, comment babysitter down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. Anyway, so they're looking at each other. They're just like, oh no, dude. This is not good. Anyways, they hear the door open up, and you hear the babysitter say, Gavin, like I'm back. Babysitter doesn't go up to the room. So Gavin and Ben are just in the room, kind of paranoid at this point, because that's one of the symptoms, right? You can feel really paranoid, especially if like things start to like anxiety-producing things start to happen. This can like make it 10 times worse. So they're both tweaking in their room, sitting there, freaking out, and they're like, okay, bro, the best plan is if we both just sit in the room, never leave the room, because if we go downstairs, she's gonna smell it on us. Or if we like start walking around, she might walk up to us and then Ben's like, didn't she say something like she's gonna like routinely check on us or something? And Gavin's like, oh my God, no, like this is, oh no. And that's when they hear a knock on the door, and Gavin and Ben just look at each other. And that's when the door, and she's like, hey, like, can I come in? And Ben's like, no, I'm changing. And Gavin looks at him like, dude, I'm in the room too. That's so sus. And Ben's like, dude, I don't know. She's like, okay. And Gavin's like, I'm changing too. And then she's like, what? And Gavin's like, God damn it, I didn't mean to say that. This is when the babysitter's catching on that something is messed up. So she's like, guys, once you're done changing, I'm going to need you to both come out here. So they're like, okay, I'm still changing. She's like, okay. 5 minutes go by. She's like, guys, you're not still changing. And Ben's like, just putting on my sock. And she's like, you're not putting on your sock. You two come out here now. So Gavin and Ben look at each other. They open up the door, and the babysitter just has her arms folded, looking at them. Because remember, the hallway already smells pretty bad. Opens up the room, and she's just staring at them. And Ben and Gavin are just like, what's up? How's it going, babysitter? How are you today, buddy? Like, they were trying to act cool, but I don't know if you've ever witnessed someone who is under the influence of this grass substance. They act a little goofy, man. Especially when they're not trying to. Somehow that's when they act the worst. Yeah, so anyways, the babysitter's looking at them. Arms folded, not a happy expression. She's not a happy camper right now. Understandably so. And they're just kind of looking at her with this, hi. Anyway, she's like, guys, I'm not an idiot. They look at her and they're like, we don't think you're an idiot. What? We never said you're an idiot. We actually think you're so smart. You're like, you're doing homework and she's like, not like that, not like that. She's like, guys, it reeks in here. And Gavin's like, yeah, my clothes really smell bad. Like, I really need to do a wash. And Ben's like, yeah, this is the stinkiest kid I know. And the babysitter's like, guys, I don't mean that either. I'm not an idiot, and you guys aren't either. They're just staring at each other in dead silence. And Gavin and Ben just like, okay. Yeah, okay. And she's like, okay, look, you got to show me where the rest of it is. And they're like, the rest of what? She's like, guys, come on. Like, once again, final time saying it, I'm not an idiot. And they're like, okay, fine. She's like, do you guys have anything else? And Ben is like, and Gavin's like, yeah. And then she like looks behind them and there's like a backpack or whatever. And she's like, look, okay, guys, I'm going to give you two options. And this is where the messed up part comes. She's like, one option, you give me the rest of it and I don't tell your parents. Or you refuse to give me the rest of it and I tell your parents. And Ben's kind of like, well, how do you know who? And she's like, remember, you introduced yourself to me. So when I tell Gavin's mom, I'm going to say that his friend Ben is over here too. And Ben's like, oh, crap. Like, my mom can't know. So she's like, all right, guys, well, there's a pretty good solution here. And Ben's like, looks at Gavin like, dude, like, we have no choice. So anyways, they step aside. They hand her the backpack. She goes downstairs. And Gavin and Ben are just kind of looking at each other like, dude, like, what's she going to do with it? Like, why does she want to confiscate it and not tell us? Or, like, not tell our parents? Like, isn't that supposed to be, like, evidence? So at this point, Gavin and Ben were, like, convinced, like, would think, why would a babysitter want to steal all, like, my magical grass? If it wouldn't, the only reason she'd want it would be for evidence? So anyways, they eventually stumble down the stairs. Well, they make their way down the stairs at some point. And they see the living room starts to smell funny. And they look over, and the babysitter's chilling on the couch. And they look at the babysitter, and they're like, hello? And she's like, oh, what's up, guys? Very chilled out, very relaxed. They're all like, wait a minute. Gavin's like, wait. The babysitter's like, yeah, we're all going to have this little secret together. And they're like, wait, whoa. Because here's the thing. I'm not saying any of this is okay, because it's not. This is where this is like really messed up. But the babysitter is like 17. They were like 15 and a half. This wasn't like they were you shouldn't be doing any of this at this age, obviously. But I'm just saying that they were basically the same age group. And so anyways, what happened was the babysitter was like, I'm going to tell your parents or I'm going to use the rest of your stuff. It's up to you. Like, I get this for free or your parents are knowing. So yeah, anyways, actually the rest of that night was very chill. The babysitter, they were not tweaking that the babysitter was going to rat on them because now like they could very easily rat on the babies. Basically the babysitter's like, I'm going to tell your parents or we both use this and it's mutually assured destruction. So yeah, and some people might say this is the chillest babysitter ever, but like actually probably the worst babysitter ever. Like you should probably tell your parents, like these kids, I don't know. Not trying to be the narc here, but in some ways the best babysitter, in other ways the worst. Comment down below what you think, and peace.